In recent months, Prince Harry's life has taken a dramatic and troubling turn, revealing a man ensnared in a complex web of personal and familial strife. Reports suggest that he is enduring an unprecedented period of emotional turmoil, marked by an overwhelming sense of isolation and distress. At the heart of his struggles is the relentless control exerted by Meghan Markle, a dynamic that has left Harry feeling trapped and powerless. This already dire situation is further exacerbated by King Charles's decision to ban Harry's return, effectively cutting him off from his royal roots and the support of his family. The once vibrant and spirited prince now appears to be a shadow of his former self, grappling with an unending barrage of challenges. His mental and emotional well-being seems to be deteriorating under the strain, as he navigates the complexities of his new life away from the royal fold. This confluence of personal and familial challenges has not only isolated Harry, but has also thrust him into the public eye, exposing the deep rifts and unresolved tensions within the royal family. The story of Prince Harry's current plight is a poignant reminder of the profound impact that personal relationships and familial dynamics can have on an individual's well-being. It serves as a stark illustration of how even those born into privilege and power are not immune to the trials and tribulations of life. As the world watches, there is a collective hope that Harry will find a path to peace and reconciliation, both within himself and with his family. Analyze Meghan's impact on Harry first. How has Harry been Americanized by Meghan so far? When it comes to the United States of America, I do not believe that Prince Harry and Meghan will be a successful couple, at least not at this moment. It is likely that those in the Hollywood industry will be interested in meeting and working with Prince Harry, but they will not be interested in working with Meghan. Meghan has revealed her true colors, and the producers and directors in this location will not tolerate her diva attitudes and demands. This is going to be a significant challenge for them to deal with. Due to the fact that Meghan has not yet learned the art of working with people, she is prone to starting disputes, and she does not demonstrate respect for those who are in positions of authority over her. No one in this place will be interested in providing her with anything. There is a proverb that goes, "Someone you know may get you in the door, but you will have to earn your right to stay." She is under the impression that Prince Harry is her ticket to fame and fortune, but she wants it on her own terms and is only using him to open doors for her. He will open doors for her because people will want to meet him. However, there is a saying that says, "Prince Harry is your ticket to fame and fortune." Meghan wants and has insisted that she only receive screenplays from the A-list, so that filmmakers from the A-list will want to work with her. However, she is not an A-list actress in this country, and prominent directors are not going to hire her simply because she is married to Prince Harry. A documentary is being produced by Disney in the form of a voiceover about elephants. This is not a movie, nor is it a series that recurs. The role was only played once. Because of the pandemic, movie studios are doing everything in their power to reduce the number of actors and even crew members they employ. This is because the money is simply not coming in at the moment. They are in survival mode, and they are only going to work with a very small number of established actors that they know and trust to bring in the money. Meghan would not be on their list of actors, even if her prince were to fly her in on his magic carpet. The possibility of Meghan working on one of the soap operas is something that I could see happening, but it will not provide her the stardom that she appears to be seeking, and no one is going to give in to her demands, so her chances of success are going to be extremely low at the moment. There is a possibility that they will be invited to special premieres or exclusive parties. However, everyone will want to chat with Prince Harry, which will only serve to excite Meghan, and once that happens, the invitations will rapidly run out. Oprah Winfrey intends to collaborate with Prince Harry on a project related to mental health. However, Meghan will not be a part of this endeavor. Oprah would continue her relationship with Prince Harry, but she would most likely distance herself from them publicly. This is because Oprah's allegiance is to herself and her company first, and she will not allow her good name to be dragged through the mud because of Meghan's childish antics. Furthermore, Oprah is not controlled by anyone, not even a prince. If Oprah were to refer Meghan for a job, and Meghan's self-entitled attitude reared its ugly head, and she did not heed Oprah's advice on how to get along with others, Oprah would continue to maintain her relationship with Prince Harry. Prince Harry has admitted that he is not in a good position right now. He is not in a good place with himself. Due to the fact that he is a fish out of water in this environment and does not comprehend American culture, which is the complete reverse of British culture, he is only aware of one thing to do, and that is to talk about the passing of his mother and how it has impacted him mentally. If he does not receive some genuine assistance from a trauma expert, people will become tired of hearing his sad story, and they will no longer be interested in hearing it over and over again. This is despite the fact that it may garner him some sympathy for a period of time, because Americans are usually quite empathetic and prepared to listen. Americans are looking for stories of triumph, rather than stories of unending misery. As far as them considering themselves to be influencers and a force for global change, they will have to clean their own house first before telling people in the United States how they should live their lives. This is because they have repeatedly made poor decisions without taking into consideration the consequences of their actions, and as a result, they have caused harm to other people. Especially if they are interested in receiving payment for speaking engagements, it will be far more beneficial for them if they just share their experiences and what they have learned from those encounters. They are very friendly and open to sharing experiences, but they are also very independent and won't be told what to do. Therefore, if Prince Harry and Meghan want to develop a following in this country, they will first need to get their own lives in order and begin making good choices. Only then will people in this country be more receptive to them. We will have to wait and watch how the American people react to their book, which is scheduled to be released in August. It has the potential to be a game changer for them, either for the better or for the worse. It is terrible that Meghan was able to convince Prince Harry to relocate to this location under false pretenses. In fact, she lied to him if she told him that they would be safer here than in England, and that they would have the seclusion they desired. This is the center of the paparazzi around the globe, and they already have drones hovering just 20 feet above them. They will be followed by paparazzi wherever they go, which is entirely different from what Prince Harry has experienced in England. In this country, there is no such thing as establishing agreements with the press, as was done with Prince William and Harry when they were younger. Prince Harry and Meghan cannot tell the press what to do or what to write, but they are respectful of the press. The tabloids, on the other hand, are monsters in their entirety, and they will have a field day with them. Meghan is fully aware of this fact, and as a result, she deceived Prince Harry into believing that this would be a better life than the one he had in England, knowing full well that he would be miserable in this new location. Concerning their charitable work and foundation, they registered their foundation in Delaware, which is one of our states. Delaware has very few restrictions on them and few checks and balances in regulating what they do with the money they receive in donations. As a result, people may perceive their motivation to help others through donations as a little bit suspicious, which could potentially damage their credibility in this area. A prudent course of action would be for them to configure it such that the donations are automatically sent to their respective charitable organizations. In the event that it is discovered that they are dishonest and are using the donations for their own personal use, they will be terminated from this position without any exceptions or questions being asked. They do have the right to put their names on whatever they want and sell it, not for donations, if they are able to do so. Celebs in this country do it all the time, and they make a lot of money, so more power to them if that is how they want to make money. We are perplexed as to why, given that Prince Harry's father is providing financial support for them, they are residing in residences that they have borrowed. There is nothing holding them back from buying a house. They are free to look and have private showings, so they won't have to interact with anyone. And as long as they wear their face masks, they're not at any health risk. So we're wondering what's keeping them from finding a home where they could in a calm and secluded neighborhood with trees that would protect them from the roving eyes of the drones. I do not believe that whatever is in store for them is what Prince Harry anticipated, nor is it what he desired for his life to be. However, only time will tell, and I am certain that this is the reason why your queen, in her wisdom, allowed them a year to see how their plans are going to play out. Now, we are waiting to see what the next step is that they are going to do. So, I think it was totally disgusting of her to tell Harry to compare it to the car chase that ended Princess Diana's life. The two of them are delusional, and I don't agree that they are mentally ill. They are just very bad people. I don't think Harry would be able to carry out all their acts on his own. He needs his sick wife to help him out. Having the two of them associated with the royal family is damaging to the family. Harry was filming this PR stunt, I assume, for their next Netflix show. Be very careful with what they are doing. Have you ever wondered how Americans feel about Meghan? Here is an American's direct sharing about Meghan. She has made so many blunders that it ain't funny. She is just a character in a TV drama. She is bankrolled by a prince. She is part of the royal legend. She has a title. She has global access to folks both wide and small. She is a diva. She insults the Queen. Doors shut, not open for her. Yet her mistakes are huge. No matter how many books that folks write about her, she remains the same. She continues to hurt her husband or anybody associated with him, including family. It is a narcissistic trait of getting them before they get you. She resorts to pity parties and other immature tactics. She cries and pouts on command. She is an exceptional thrower of tea, and her aim is true. Sign her up for baseball if she needs a job. Yes, she has global awareness. No, she does not even represent our American spirit. She is street smart, low-life, devious, cunning, manipulative, and evil. Her idol is money. Her mother is her role model next to Hillary Clinton, Ellen, and Oprah, all women who stepped on others to achieve the American dream. Yet she does not represent America, only a small portion of it. Therefore, her red carpet ride was deflated and burned down. Yet no one has offered her jobs or anything of substance. She views herself as more important than the others in town. By her rigid standards and her high opinion of herself, no one is knocking on her front door, not even to sell cookies. Well, that's enough to show how Meghan's status has plummeted. No one loves her. She is not only a mediocre D-list actress, but also extremely cruel. She deeply tarnishes the image of Americans, and she is a dirty stain on the beautiful country of America, so quickly will only be tarnished. Banished in the UK, Meghan will quickly be eliminated by America. Recently, something more brazen that Meghan did behind the scenes really made me extremely angry, and I believe everyone will be as angry as me. The Markles are feeding their friendly press with stories of King Charles being anxious to patch up his differences with his loving son, Harry. They are telling us that the king is preparing to fly across the pond to have a heart-to-heart talk with his son. Don't believe a word of it. The press release sent out to their media says Charles is ready to go the extra mile and invest the effort to see Harry in the States. It could be a huge sign that he's serious about healing their bond. It seems the king might be more open than ever to tackling their issues head-on and working towards peace. Firstly, the elephant in the palace is still there. The massive problem that still bugs them is how can the royal family explain away the extraordinary deceit delivered by Harry and the actress, who presented them with 2 children that nobody can talk about. 2 invisible kids that the press cannot ask them about. The press has been gagged and they can't even report about this news blackout being in place. If Charles, who is weak from battling with cancer and the debilitating chemotherapy treatment, was indeed able or willing to travel to California, would we see pictures of him rolling on the carpet with his 2 lovely grandchildren, just as the late Queen did with Archie, as Harry excitedly told us? Of course not. Would the king, upon his return to the UK, even mention the 2 beautiful children? He dare not. And this is because the royal family knows the game is almost up. They know that one day the world will be told the truth, and they want no part of it, even though we all suspect they were complicit in the fake pregnancy scam. At the moment, the royals are distancing themselves from Harry and his cunning wife, and for good reason. They are out of sight and out of mind, as one prominent journalist is telling people. Meghan Markle has jumped in first, telling us the king is considering going to meet them in America. She is leaving the door open to criticize Charles when it is reported he won't be going. Then she'll tell us Harry is willing to visit Buckingham Palace on his own to make peace with the king before he passes away. Never underestimate what this despicable woman will do to keep herself in the news. Then I asked Meghan what right she had to blame King Charles. What a shameless, uncultured woman. As for King Charles, there is no need to discuss much. One thing is certain, he will never forgive Harry, a criminal. King Charles will never forgive Harry because his son's actions have caused deep and irreparable wounds in the family relationship. Harry chose to leave the royal family, abandon his royal duties, and publicly criticize his family in numerous interviews and his book. This not only hurt Charles's pride, but also disrupted the entire royal family and caused significant divisions among the public. The rift between Charles and Harry goes beyond personal disagreements and touches on the core values of the monarchy. King Charles, who has dedicated his life to serving and protecting the royal family's reputation, feels betrayed by his son's actions. Harry's revelations and accusations have not only hurt Charles, but have also shaken public trust in the monarchy, something Charles has worked tirelessly to build over decades. The relationship between father and son is now overshadowed by suspicion and pain. King Charles may feel that forgiveness is impossible, as the wounds Harry has caused are still too fresh and deep. While family bonds may bring hope for future reconciliation, the reality is that this rift may never fully heal. King Charles will have to face the pain of losing the connection with his son, a pain that may never truly fade away. The King of England, with a heavy heart and a determined gaze, is getting ready to make a move that has never been done before. It is not only his decisions and acts that attempt to fix the gaps that exist among his family, but they also disclose dark secrets and conflicts that have been buried for a long time. The relationship between Harry and his father has been thrown into a swirl of tension and turmoil as a result of Harry's defiant actions and shocking critiques. Does an unanticipated trip taken by King Charles have the potential to alter everything? Is it possible that the royal family will continue to be plagued by the underlying tensions and mysteries? Despite the fact that the queries have not been answered, the explosive revelation of stunning truths is still awaited. In order to put a stop to his quarrel with Prince Harry, King Charles is taking significant actions, such as making plans to travel to the United States in order to meet with Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and their 2 children. The disagreement has not been totally addressed, despite the fact that there have been some attempts at reconciliation in the past. According to Llewellyn Alderson, an expert on relationships, this visit has the potential to be the initial step in the process of healing the relationship. Christopher Anderson, a biographer, is of the opinion that Harry's criticism of Camilla is a significant issue that makes it difficult for Charles to forgive her completely. The decision of King Charles to pay a visit to Harry in the United States conveys a multifaceted message. After his defiant behavior and public critiques of the royal family, particularly his assaults on Camilla, whom King Charles truly loves and protects, many people believe that Harry does not deserve forgiveness. This is especially true in light of the fact that he recently attacked Camilla. The royal family's reputation and honor have suffered tremendous damage as a result of Harry's decision to abdicate his royal obligations and the public airing of family disagreements. Many people are of the opinion that Harry has forfeited his privilege to have his father pay him a visit. It is possible that King Charles's desire to forgive and reconcile may be interpreted as a gesture of magnanimity and an effort to heal, but it is also possible that it could be interpreted as a sign of weakness, a lack of the required commitment to defend the values and dignity of the royal family. Given the recent and controversial nature of Harry's activities, the choice to go through with this visit raises issues about the fairness of the situation as well as the reasoning behind it. Is this the appropriate action to do in order to restore the connections within the family, or is it only serving as an unwarranted concession to a son who has betrayed his family? For the time being, only time will tell, but this choice made by King Charles is certain to continue to be a contentious issue of discussion in the days to come. Not only would it be difficult for King Charles to travel to the United States to see Harry and his family, but it would also be politically charged because it would be a visit between the 2 countries. Therefore, King Charles should not go to the United States. It is true that this is a highly political activity that has the potential to generate a great deal of controversy and complaints. It is possible that a visit from a British king to a son who has publicly criticized and left the royal family could be viewed as an unwarranted concession, particularly in light of the fact that Harry has repeatedly caused him the greatest amount of anguish. Royal family and imagery. This occurrence has the potential to generate a surge of popular dissatisfaction and to raise doubts regarding the significance and authority of the royal family. This visit is not only an issue of concern for the family, but it also has the potential to be interpreted as a sign of weakness in a diplomatic setting, given that a powerful nation such as Britain is forced to humble itself due to the actions of a traitor. Aside from the fact that this is a personal journey, it also has the potential to influence the relationship between the 2 countries, which will further complicate the political situation. There is also the possibility that political detractors would view this action as an irresponsible move. which may bring about a decrease in the reputation and respect that King Charles. It is possible that many people will claim that King Charles ought to prioritize more essential royal tasks and responsibilities, rather than making the time and effort to travel to the United States to pay a visit to someone who has left the family and has commented negatively on them. To be more specific, Harry's children are not even aware of whether or not they are real. As a means of attracting attention, Harry and Meghan frequently bring up the subject of ghost children, but they never once verify whether or not these children are real. Even if the public and the media have shown a great deal of interest in Harry and Meghan's media pathways, there are still many concerns that need to be answered concerning the reality. Many people were left feeling doubtful and perplexed as a result of the fact that they did not provide any evidence to support the existence of their children. My opinion is that this is a matter that needs to be handled in a more precise manner. His quiet on this matter can be interpreted as an act of protection for phony marriages, but at the same time, it produces a lot of reactions. I have always liked King Charles, but his silence on this problem provokes a lot of reactions, despite the fact that I believe it is essential to respect the right of every individual to privacy. I also believe that it is essential to be open and honest with the general public in order to avoid widespread distrust and suspicion. In order to see his grandchildren, Charles may travel to the United States. When it comes to seeing their grandfather, why don't their parents bring the youngsters with them? A suggestion. When taking into consideration that the king is currently having treatment for cancer, it would be a lot less of a headache. Which sources are responsible for these tales? I can say without a doubt that it is not from King Charles. I really hope that this is not the case. One reason is that the monarch is obviously dealing with some health concerns, but if everything is taken into consideration, it would just be a big boost to Harry and Meghan's ego. I can almost imagine the smug expression on her face as she realizes that she has won, and that if the king wanted to see the children, he would have to be the one to let them see him. It is a terrible situation that I am unable to communicate with my grandchildren, and I am irritated by the fact that she has continued to manipulate the situation, demonstrating that she has no morals. I can only picture what the Markles would say about it if Charles were to act in such a way that was so foolish. Look, it is because of the significance of our presence that the King of the United Kingdom travels all the way to meet with us, rather than us having to travel to meet with him. Since when would the monarch drop everything to make a trip overseas to meet someone who has done nothing but blackmail him since they left the United Kingdom? This is a difficult concept to grasp. All of this is coming from them and their public relations department. It is all for the purpose of having another go at Charles. Nothing in it is even somewhat true. It is going to take a very long time for Meghan and Harry to be able to serve some Earl Grey and show respect to King Charles and Queen Camilla while they are in the United States of America. Their kettle is going to need to be refilled for a very long period. The Queen passed away with the knowledge that he had betrayed her by acting disrespectfully toward her, and then insisting that his wife be present at her bedside. Seal had refused to see her as his wife, after all, without a doubt, a twaddle. In response to Harry's unwelcome visit, the king granted him 7 minutes of his time. The king has made it quite clear that he will not give in to the emotional blackmail that is directed toward him. While it is true that he is a parent, he is also the king, and his responsibility to the nation takes precedence over his own subjective emotions. Since he is our head of state, it is only natural for me to expect that our king will not be traveling to the United States of America. Our king has the right to act in accordance with the dictates that his destiny has set for him. Our children are not our property. Rather, we are borrowing them for a limited period of time until they are completely independent people. We have the privilege of having a relationship with our grandkids, however. This is typically only possible if we are young enough and geographically close enough to them. And in certain cases, their health requires that we do so. A demand has been placed on him by the king to instill a code of conduct in Prince George, just as our late queen instilled a code of conduct in Prince William, and our late queen mother instilled a code of conduct in our now the king. I would ask that you comprehend that this is the characteristic of a head of state, which is the monarchy. There is no need for King Charles to visit them. They are so arrogant that they anticipate receiving an apology. To what end? In the event that anyone is in need of an apology, it is the royal family to whom it is due. The heinous pair is solely concerned with themselves, and the ways in which they can take advantage of the royal family for their own financial benefit. The entirety of their story is cloaked in ambiguous truths, which causes the king to experience stress that is not strictly necessary. King Charles should not provide his presence to their self-serving antics because it is a parody of duty and decency, and he should not do so. As a matter of fact, they owe him and the institution of the monarchy a sincere apology for the persistent treachery and deceit that they have committed via their actions. In the event that King Charles decides to visit the United States, you must exercise caution with Meghan Markle. The fact that she used audio and video recording media to record significant royal discussions and events and subsequently posted those recordings to the press for the purpose of making a profit has been a source of criticism. It is not only an invasion of privacy, but also a malevolent conduct, and it is done exclusively for the purpose of gaining personal benefit. Numerous occasions have occurred in which Meghan Markle and Harry have utilized interviews and statements in order to publicly criticize and oppose various individuals, particularly members of the British royal family and Harry's relatives. They build a life by selling it to the general public by using the private stories and remarks of royal heads as a source of information. Whenever they take up a camera or microphone, they are engaging in the process of creating new stories and conducting new interviews, and they are doing everything in their power to generate income. The fact that Meghan Markle and Harry use these facilities for their own personal needs, rather than for the sake of their family or the nation, is well knowledge. When it comes to the media, they are the backers of fame, providing a mechanism for the snake to be publicly introduced. There is no unattainable goal. When it comes to making money, she is willing to do everything. Charles, exercise caution. The fact that he is your son does not change the fact that you are king and that you represent your subjects who are obviously unhappy with John and Meghan. The disintegration of the royal family, which would result in the loss of popular support, could provide Meghan with the fulfillment she seeks. In light of his advanced age, the fact that he is battling cancer, and the fact that his wife would not be permitted to reside in Harry's home, I have no reason to accept this at all. I don't understand how he could possibly give in to this more on someone who literally hates the royal family and his nation. Criticism of Camilla is the one thing that Charles considers to be something that cannot be forgiven. What do you think about destroying his entire family, including himself, his wife, his daughter-in-law, our future king, the United Kingdom and its people, and the Commonwealth? This is the thing that he considers to be inexcusable. It should come as no surprise that people are discussing a republic more and more. Even if he leaves, it is possible that he will not return. The fact that Prince Harry has resigned from his position as a working member of the royal family represents more than simply a change in titles. It also represents a significant shift in how the general public views and anticipates him to behave. Through his journey, Prince Harry has gone from being at the center of royal duties to being on the periphery of public observation. He was once praised for his charisma and his ability to connect with people. As a result of the controversies that have surrounded him and Meghan, their identities have been transformed from those of celebrated persons inside the monarchy to those of conflicting emblems of defiance and opposition. As a result of feelings of betrayal and disillusionment, the manner in which the general public feels about Harry and Meghan has become more negative. The trust and admiration that was previously bestowed upon them has been undermined as a result of their decision to pull back from royal commitments, as well as their open revelations and public criticisms. As a result of the manner in which they have negotiated this shift, many people are doubting their commitment to royal tradition and duty. This is despite the fact that their objectives may have been rooted in a desire for personal independence and authenticity. The idea that Harry and Meghan would parade alongside other members of the royal family is becoming increasingly odd in the eyes of the general people. Because of their lifestyle choices and public pronouncements, they have significantly deviated from the conventional expectations of royal conduct. This has resulted in a striking contrast with personalities such as Prince Andrew, who have chosen to live a more subdued and discreet life away from the public eye. Despite the fact that it has been met with a great deal of controversy, Prince Andrew's decision to withdraw from public life has been interpreted as a realistic strategy to prevent additional damage to the reputation of the monarchy. The institution has been spared from more scrutiny and criticism as a result of his absence from royal duties. This has enabled the attention to shift away from scandal and towards characters within the family who are more solid and reassuring. For Harry and Meghan, the challenge comes in finding a way to reconcile their need for seclusion with the ongoing curiosity and scrutiny of the public. The efforts that they have made to carve out a new place inside the global limelight have been received with suspicion and criticism, and doubts continue to be raised regarding their future contributions and pledges to public service. The public's expectations continue to be very clear as they traverse this new chapter: transparency, responsibility, and a persistent dedication to the values and obligations that are connected with their royal status. Their trip serves as a poignant reminder of the intricacies involved in reconciling personal wants with public responsibility inside the boundaries of one of the world's oldest and most revered institutions. Whether or not they are able to restore the trust and approval of the public is yet unknown, but their journey serves as a reminder of the complexity that these individuals face. His realization that Harry is no longer a functioning member of the royal family is something that he needs to come to terms with. I honestly hope that this is not the case. It is not going to be acceptable for the general public to witness him or his wife walking about with them. They are able to have a quiet existence and remain hidden from public view, much like Andrew. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.